Hello, everybody, and welcome to your HYPOXiX specific CO2 tolerance test. Now, you may have done a CO2 tolerance test before. This is done quite a bit in the industry amongst elite athletes, or for any of you who have performed and gone through breath training protocols before. Now, there are actually many different versions of the CO2 tolerance. Most will inhale through the nostrils and then exhale through the nostrils. Some will instruct to inhale for 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 4 seconds or 5 seconds and then exhale longer for most. Most will recommend exhale longer than you are inhaling for 3 to 5 repetitions, and then on the final breath, exhale as long as you can, and you time that final exhalation to see how long you can sustain that final exhalation, and that is a marker as to how well your body can withstand carbon dioxide buildup in the body. That signal is coming from the chemoreceptors in the system that are sensing that carbon dioxide rising in the system as you slowly exhale or as you breath hold. So this is a pretty standard test to look at that carbon dioxide tolerance, hence why it's called the CO2 tolerance test. Now, I've always been a bit frustrated at the variance on instructions from one company's or research laboratories' carbon dioxide test to the other, and I wanted to develop something that had a high amount of specificity to it, and the inhale is very specific and the exhale is very specific in terms of duration and in terms of the intensity of the breath and in terms of how many repetitions, so that when you test before, you are comparing the after test to a very nice control. Okay, so for today, these are the instructions. I'm going to perform it with you to see what my CO2 tolerance is right now. I've been doing quite a bit of breath training lately, so I'm hoping for somewhere around 60 seconds on that final exhale. So here are the instructions for our CO2 tolerance test. This is, again, specific to our methodology of breathing, just so simply you have a test that you can compare your results from before the training to after the training. If you're doing a boot camp or if you're just progressively training in the HYPOXiX method, you can compare your results progressively over time and looking for an increase in duration of that final exhale. And that is just indicative of your amazing CO2 tolerance, which, as you know, if you've been training with me for a while, you know there are so many amazing benefits to having a very high CO2 threshold and tolerance level. So for today, we're going to take a total of 4 repetitions of inhales and exhales. We're going to inhale for 2, exhale for 8. I have our handy dandy metronome playing to make sure that we stay exactly at a rate of 6 breaths per minute. And that is something also that makes this test very specific. We're always going to be at that same cadence. We inhale for 2, we exhale for 8. We inhale through the nostrils, and we are going to blow gently through a straw. Now, you're not going to force that exhale. You're just going to let that exhale come out. So it's traditionally done through the nostrils. Why is that done? Because it allows you to more slowly offload that CO2. Now, blowing through a straw will also allow you to more slowly offload the CO2 because you're blowing through a pretty small space. But don't think blow like we do in our method within the workout. Just think let the air seep out of the pursed lips, right? You're not blowing with pressure, you're just letting it seep out, okay? So again, we're inhaling for 2, we're exhaling for 8 on a blow. We inhale for 2, we exhale for 8. We inhale for 2, we exhale for 8. On the 4th repetition, we're inhaling for 2 beats and we're exhaling for as long as you can. If you can get 60 seconds, 30 seconds is fine. Less than 30 seconds is fine. But I generally, as an advanced breather, I try to aim for somewhere around 60 seconds, even up to 80, even up to 90. I'm going to aim for 60 today, but I'm going to do it with you, okay? And when you perform your inhalation, you're going to, typical of our method, our HYPOXiX method, we're going to take 2 sniffs of air on each beat for that 2-second inhalation. So it goes like this: 1, 2, and they can be pretty big, pretty forceful inhales. So only 2 seconds. We're doing a 2-8 breath, and then we're gently letting the air seep out through that tiny circle that we're making with our pursed lips, okay? That is how we're slowly letting that CO2 dissipate, okay? And that will be very similar. That will be comparable to the results that you see in research, where they're sometimes inhaling for 3 and they're exhaling for 8 seconds through the nostrils a few times, and then that final breath, that fourth breath, they are exhaling through the nostrils. But specific to our method, we're going to do it through pursed lips, and we're going to compare and contrast our results over time with that. Okay, so let's just go for it. Are you nervous? I'm kind of nervous. I want to make sure that I hit it for you guys. So let's go. So inhale, 1, 2, exhale, 8, 2. I'm just reviewing one more time. 1, 2, exhale, 8, 3, 1, 2, exhale, 8, 4, 1, 2. Slowly exhale for as long as you can, okay? So that was pretty fast for me, those breaths. I kind of feel like I'm hyperventilating, which is the opposite of what we want to do. So now let's slow it down. Here we go. Let's take it. And 1, 2, exhale through a blow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Second set. 1, 2, exhale slowly. 2, 4, 5, blow, 7, and number 3. 1, 2, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, blowing softly, softly. Last one here. 1, 2. Here we go. Whew, I made it just about there. Wow. I don't know, how did you guys do? I made it into the 70s. I'm proud. I'm really proud, especially because I've had a pretty long and intense day of doing a lot of working out. So my respiratory muscles are, a little bit fatigued, and sometimes making sure that you are in a rested state. So, and testing it always at the same time, probably in the morning when your respiratory muscles are rested, you haven't had a lot of caffeine, so that you're more tolerant to stress and you're not as reactive, is a really helpful method. So I'm actually hoping to get closer to 80 or 90 when I test mine tomorrow morning, but recognize that I am very advanced. I train my breath every single day at varying intensities, and it's always part of my workout. I use that breathography methodology within every single one of the HYPOXiX workouts, and so I've been working on this for years. I started off probably at about 20, 30 seconds, which is considered more average. So if you are there, then we want to build up, keep working on that, keep testing maybe once a week and see if you can get just a couple of more seconds. And over time, as you train this breathing method, you will improve. And there are so many amazing benefits. One of the main ones is that you will be more tolerant to stress within the workout, with it aerobically and anaerobically and strength-wise, and additionally in life, because it is transferable to just that feeling, that state anxiety, right? And just not being as reactive, which means that we've upregulated our parasympathetic nervous system, and more calm, which means more vital, more healthy, and that is what we're going for. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know your results, and I will see you at the next workout. Bye-bye.